Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, it's a pretty good game, but ain't no one insane enough to 100% it.
Oh yeah?
You know, it's a shame when the next game you pick to 100% is also the biggest game you've ever completed, just when people actually watch the last video you make. You see, I was thinking, oh, this will only take like a month, but holy shit! Like, I knew it was gonna be bad, but oh my god, Rockstar outdid themselves with this game. What else is there to say about Red Dead Redemption 2? The best Rockstar game ever made? The best open world game ever made? Certainly the best Wild West game ever made. Honestly, I'm still majorly impressed by it. It feels like it shouldn't exist. The graphics, the story, sure the mission design is 20 years old, but that doesn't stop it from being great. But of course, you already know all this. It's one of the best-selling games ever made, and there are 7,000 videos talking about how good it is. No, instead I have a very different job. Rockstar are notorious for trying to suck the life out of you as much as possible if you want to do everything. These games are naturally massive. For most people, just beating it is more hours than they'll put into any game they play that year. But completion is a nightmare. And I know I say that a lot, but completing Rockstar games is a nightmare. Take the first game for example. You beat the story and then you're done. But 100%ing it, you had to do all sorts of weird stuff to get all the outfits. Hunting was horrible because you couldn't find any of the animals, and you had to pick every herb in the game multiple times. It was ridiculous, really boring, and took around 60 hours. Red Dead Redemption 2 is that experience times by 3. They took a game that was known for being horribly dull and made it worse. It did exactly what the sequel was supposed to do, make it bigger and better. And my god, did they make it bigger.
So if there's one thing I want to drill into you for this whole video, it's that Red Dead Redemption 2 is naturally slow. In order to make this game as immersive as possible, everything takes longer. Picking stuff up and skinning all has an animation. There is no teleporting things or fast travel at the click of a button. You have to maintain your horse and your weapons. You can't just leave your horse in the middle of nowhere and expect it to just come back. And honestly, I love the game for this. That commitment to immersion really pays off. This ain't some Ubisoft game where they think you have ADHD and constantly tell you where everything is and allow you to just do whatever you want with no consequence. But you see, this is all great when you play Red Dead 2, but when you 100% it, this is the first hurdle you have to really understand. Because of this, doing all the annoying and boring tasks I'm about to explain is made much worse, because when you want to do everything in an open world game, you want to do it as efficiently and as quickly as possible. Not with Red Dead 2. Completing this game is not just a job, it's a fucking lifestyle. You live and breathe this game for at least a month. You have to accept that sometimes things are not gonna work. Certain things are not gonna be easy to find or may not fucking spawn for whatever reason. You cannot rush this game. It's impossible. It's fucking huge. It's 29 square miles, and when you play it normally, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna gaze over its endless horizons. But when you 100% it, you will know every fucking inch of it. You will know where every goddamn plant is. I am not joking. At the end of the game, John Marston finally gets his own farm. But sadly, he can't be around his wife and son because he has to go and pick every fucking herb on the entire map several times. So remember, you're here forever, and the sooner you accept this, the more bearable it'll be. Structuring this video is as hard as it is to 100%. Where the fuck do you even start? This has to be one of the hardest games to write an optimal guide for because of the sheer scope of it. So let's start with simply playing the game. Most players will play the main story and most or all of the stranger missions. This is already 60 to 80 hours. If people do continue playing after the epilogue, they probably won't play much. They may do the gang hideouts, some fishing or hunting for the hell of it, and then do what any respectable human would do, which is move on to something else because you've already spent 80 hours with it. But past this point is where Rockstar start manically laughing because they know this player is actually gonna go for it. So they say, "Okay, motherfucker, bring it on." The funniest part about this whole game is that it's one achievement that ruins everything. Best in the West asks for you to simply 100% the game, and my god will this stay locked for a long time. If there's one good thing to say about this process is that I'm glad I waited to finally complete this game. Firstly, because like I said, this game requires you to do so much that by now people have a pretty good idea on how to do everything. And secondly, because Rockstar finally caved and now allows you to fast travel from camp to most of the important locations on the map. Before this update you had to go to a train station or a coach. Yes, this indeed did used to be much worse. Thankfully, this is one of the few tasks in this game that they were quite nice about. There are 16 legendary animals in the game, but you only need to kill 5 of them. If you really don't want this to be difficult, you can just go for the legendary animals that aren't predators, such as a buck or a beaver. All you have to do is walk to the area there's an animal, and then look for clues with your witcher sense, your eagle eye. Once you find it, grab your sniper rifle and blow its head off. Simple and easy. What you'll learn with Red Dead 2 is things that take 20 minutes feel like 5 seconds compared to the rest of it. The legendary fish, however, are a nightmare until you learn how to actually fish in this game. For this you actually do have to get all 13 fish, and at first this is going to be horribly frustrating because you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere and you'll probably break your wrist. Once you buy all the special lures from the bait shop, all you have to do is use the right lure at the right location. But to actually fish in this game, you have to first wear down the fish, and instead of just turning the right analog stick to reel in, you have to move the left stick up and down, and this kind of fucks with your head a bit. But once you get it down, you will see you have to literally drag the fish. Now, I've never been fishing in real life because that would require me to go outside, but I don't think this is how it works. So once you get that down, it's easy, right? Well, yeah, but as I've said, this game is naturally slow. Just catching 13 fish will take you at least 5 hours because you have to go to a location, catch the fish, which may take you a while because you keep catching the wrong fish, put the fish on your horse, ride to the post office, and mail it. Now this is fine on its own, but we've got a whole more to go which will eventually start chipping away at your soul. Speaking of chipping away at your soul, the exotic stranger mission that you have to complete is one of the worst things in the game. It's one hell of an introduction to Red Dead's horrible animal spawning. So here's all the requests you have to do, and it sounds really simple. You get a bunch of flowers and kill some birds. Now the flowers are easy enough. They're usually attached to some trees which you can find with your eagle vision. Just make sure you watch out for alligators. The main problem is that there is only really one consistent place the birds you need spawn. Firstly, there are 5 different bird feathers the requests are going to ask you for, and it'd be very smart to hunt the birds that you need for later requests as well, since you need fucking 30 for one of them. Secondly, once you start shooting, every bird in the area is going to fly off and not come back, so make sure you use Deadeye to shoot them all. The other big problem is that after this you have to sleep for 24 hours to get them to respawn. Except that won't work unless you teleport to Rhodes, which is right next to the spawn point, and sleep there. Then you have to ride all the way back and hope that you find the right bird because there are like 5 different birds that can spawn there. Saving and reloading can help respawn birds, but it's probably only going to work once. So all of this doesn't sound too difficult, which it isn't. Red Dead 2 is not difficult. This did, however, take 3 fucking days.
So there are 5 hunting requests in the game that ask you to go hunt some animals and mail them. Very straightforward, and unlike the exotics, they're all over the map instead of in one location. But it couldn't be like a wolf, or a deer, or something that made fucking sense. It has to be the smallest animal. It has to be a fucking woodpecker or a robin. Like, where the fuck are you ever gonna see one of those? Go outside and try and find a fucking robin. You can't. They're fucking tiny, so you end up squinting your eyes so much until it hurts, and then you can't play anymore.
I'm not even joking either. I felt like my vision was getting worse constantly looking for these tiny ass animals. So luckily people have figured out good locations to find specific animals. It's never guaranteed, but it's good enough. But you see, it can't be any old robin or chipmunk. it has to be a 3-star animal. Depending on how you hunt the animal, the quality rating will go down, meaning you can't just shoot the bird once you find it, you have to kill it with a bow. This makes it near impossible to kill in mid-air, but it doesn't stop there. It can't be any old arrow, it has to be a small game arrow specifically made for hunting, which requires an arrow, a feather, and a shotgun shell for every 1 arrow you want to craft. So don't miss or you'll have to go farm feathers for more. But you also think all animals are 3-star animals. Haha, no my friend. Some animals by default are 2 and 1 star, so even if you do find that robin after an hour of looking for it, it might be useless to you. And don't let it fly away or fall in the water or else you'll never see it again. And make sure you kill the slightly larger animals on the request last, as if you keep them on your horse they'll start to decay. And make sure it's not raining too or else nothing will spawn. This fucking sucks. It took me forever to do this. I don't have footage for it, but after hours of looking for a 3-star skunk, the moment I found one I got attacked by wolves. I managed to kill them, but Jesus, I would have quit right there if they killed me. These birds too love to fly away at the sight of you, which drove me nuts. One of the worst birds was the waxwing, as these birds do not land, so you have to pray you shoot it out of the sky with a bow. One thing you can do to help is kill the legendary buck and go to the fence and get the talisman. This will make it less likely for the animal to lose its quality on a kill. Overall, it's horrific. Trying to get a certain animal of a 3-star quality to spawn takes hours and sucks the life out of you. And the worst part is you realize that this is only the beginning. There is so much more to do.
What is that?
It's art.
In the original Red Dead Redemption, there were 4 challenges. Each challenge has 10 objectives that you have to complete, and was by far the worst thing in the game. These challenges were incredibly obnoxious. They are the definition of padding, and made the original game notorious. So of course the response Rockstar had was to put 9 challenges in the sequel. Honestly, it's like they all sit in a boardroom and decide how unappealing can we make completing our video games. It's hard to sum up, but it really is a monumental amount of stuff. Just one of these challenges takes anywhere between 3 hours to a week. And it's not like it always goes according to plan. Certain things will just not work, and in a game where it takes at least 20 minutes to do anything, this really gets to you. Most of these challenges aren't worth talking about. Doesn't mean they're not a nightmare, it's just that they're so boring there isn't anything to mention. Rockstar absolutely tried to make this as bad as possible though. Take Survivalist for example. It starts off like catch 5 fish, kill 5 animals with a varmint rifle, real simple stuff. Then it's like kill 5 animals eating corpses. Kill 8 small animals with small game arrows without missing. Like what the fuck, when am I ever gonna do that? And why do I have to do it multiple times? So you get through all that, get to the last challenge and it's like, oh yeah, just catch every species of fish. What? Why? Why couldn't you just count all that when I got those legendary fish? So now you gotta go all over the map and fish for hours hoping you get the right fish. And that's what gets to you. Just when you think the end might be in sight, the game springs more stuff on you. The fucking herbalist challenge, as you go around and pick all these herbs, which takes like forever, because they only grow in certain areas, so you have to fast travel, look around for the plant and pick it up as slowly as possible. You go through all these challenges, pick 4 different berries, pick 5 mushrooms, pick 15 different herbs, and then you get to the end, and it's like, pick one of each type of herb. What was the point in what I just did? Why can't this be challenge number 1 so I can get most of it while just playing the game? The gambling challenge, this one is dumb. You have to win 3 rounds of dominoes without drawing any tiles and win 3 games in a row. And in case you didn't know, there is a large amount of RNG involved in dominoes, so you basically just have to get lucky. Then they make you play blackjack where you have to win 3 hands with 3 hits or more. This means you have to get 5 cards that add up to 21, which is an absurd amount of luck which could have you playing forever. But then there are some nicer ones like Horseman, which requires you to ride around and do stupid things like drag a guy around for 3,000 feet with a lasso. But even that challenge has you find and break every horse in the game. Treasure Hunter just has you find 9 treasures which you can look up online. And even though it's easy, it's still boring and takes too long. And of course, no open world game is complete without a giant list of collectibles. To be fair though, this isn't actually that bad compared to other Rockstar games like shooting every pigeon in GTA 4. One day I'll cross that bridge, but definitely not soon after this shit. In Red Dead 2, you have to get 48 weapons, which you can get from many different things. Find 10 rock carvings, 20 dream catchers, which doesn't give you jack shit. Find 9 graves. Find 30 dinosaur bones. Overall, this could have been much worse, but god damn it, does this game really need more things in it?
So congratulations, you just spent 150 hours and have achieved 100%. Now you're done with the game. No, you're not even close.
So there's one achievement in this game that proves Rockstar was purposely trying to waste your time as much as possible. Grin and Bear It has you get attacked by a bear, fight out of its grasp and kill it. You get this cool animation and it is generally satisfying. Nothing wrong with an achievement that tries to highlight a cool thing they put in the game.
But except it's not one bear, it's 18 bears. Just so you know, you're probably going to do this like once naturally through the whole game. So you're going to have to go purposely get attacked by a bear, kill it, have to wait 24 hours and hope it respawns. 18 times. Why? I don't want to fucking play this game anymore!
This takes like 2 hours and sometimes the bears just don't spawn. Horrible. 1 out of 10. So you get through that and you go back to the achievement list and then you'll see it. The 2 trophies that'll give you a heart attack. Skin and study every animal in the entire game. All 152 of them.
I'm retarded.
Words cannot describe how fucked up this is. Studying an animal is where you look at them and hold a button. That's it. But as I've already explained, getting certain animals to spawn is pure agony. And it's very important that you remember this is every animal, not every type. A northern water snake is very different to a midland water snake, even though they spawn in the same place, meaning you might keep getting the wrong one. This achievement really starts to get in your head too, because you might go to an area and fucking nothing will spawn. It'll be a barren wasteland. So you start fast traveling back and forth, saving and reloading, hoping the Red Dead gods bless you with a slightly different type of fox. Even though by the time I got to this I only had about 60 to find, it still took an absurd amount of time. Some animals are far rarer than others and might not have a set spawn point. And I already mentioned the rain. A certain animal might only spawn at night, so you sleep till night and, oh, too bad it's raining, time to wait until tomorrow. Hell, I bet most people don't even know there are panthers in this game. Which, by the way, if you have trouble with these guys or any other predator, you can stick them with a poison knife and study them that way, as you can't study a dead animal. Saving and reloading really is the best thing here. For example, there are 3 types of balls and in this one location you can save and reload to get all 3. I've done a lot of dumb shit, but this achievement really makes you question what the fuck you're doing with your life. So that really is everything. There is nothing left in the post-game world to do. What a nightmare that was. So damn, why don't I have the platinum? Well, because there's one achievement left. What is it? Oh, nothing that bad. You just have to get 70 gold medals in story missions. There are 104 missions in this 60-hour game. You now have to replay more than half of the entire game again! In every mission in the game, there are side objectives such as completing the mission with 80% accuracy or getting a certain number of headshots. Each mission gives you 1 gold medal. If you've ever seen the 100% synchronization objectives in the Assassin's Creed games, it's basically that. Now at least they only make you get 70 of them, because by the end I was struggling to find a mission that didn't suck. The big problem here is, number 1, you've played this game for like 150 hours now and don't want to play anymore. And number 2, the easiest missions to get gold medals in are going to be the most boring. All the ones where you slowly walk and talk to people and ride around for hours. Wonderful. But of course this couldn't have been easy. There always has to be a catch. Not only are some of these objectives not easy to do, but sometimes you could only know if you've done the objective after the checkpoint. So if you fuck it up, you have to replay the entire mission again. And when you replay missions in this game, it is all of the mission, including the beginning part where you ride to the location while talking. So when you screw up an objective, you have to replay that entire part again, and it hurts so much. All will to play the game for that day dies right there. And that's not mentioning that sometimes the objectives glitch and there's nothing you can do about it, so you end up playing an entire mission for no reason. Why is this even in here? The gold medals were in Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, and they suck there too. Who actually loads up this game and goes, oh boy, it's time to get all the gold medals, this is gonna be fun? No, Rockstar know what they're doing. They absolutely design these games with the intention of breaking you.
So that's it. That's Red Dead 2. Except it isn't. I've actually been lying to you this entire time. How could there possibly be more? We've done everything in the story. Well, much like GTA 5, this game has an infamous multiplayer. And yes, you have to get to top rank.
Let me guess. This is a fun-filled multiplayer that'll keep me entertained for hours. Why, howdy, son. I see you're new to Red Dead Online. Have fun.
Once again, I am forced to play another online mode that nobody would care about if it vanished off the face of the earth. While I have never done GTA 5's online, and from what I've heard, never will, I did do the original Red Dead Online, and it was one of the worst grinds I've ever done. It was 20 hours of clearing the same camp as fast as possible, and I could not do it for more than an hour at a time. But Red Dead 2's online is quite different. It copies GTA 5's infamous but incredibly successful online mode, but somehow doesn't even get that right. Red Dead Online is a meme at this point. The best way to describe it is that it's a barren wasteland. The first sighting I had of another player after a few hours of playing was this. Yeah, I don't blame you. God, where do you even start? It's a mess. While it is impressive that they managed to get this giant open world to run on a server with multiple players, you can't rob stores. I'm gonna say that again. You can't rob stores in my Wild West game. When I started this game, the first thing I realized is everybody looks hideous. Like it's impossible to make a decent looking character. When I went into the online, I found out pretty much everyone looks the same because who fucking cares? After that, you get bombarded with tutorials and shit I'm not reading. Then I realized my horse sucked and I don't want it to take forever to get anywhere. So I bought this horse, gave him an appropriate name, but then I realized I was freezing to death because this was the winter event. Yes, that's how long I've been playing this. But clothes in this game cost a stupid amount of money. And, well, that's what this game mode is all about. Getting money. So this is the part where you start playing Red Dead Online and realize why it's a barren wasteland in the first place. One of the only things to do in this game when it first came out were these stranger missions where you have to go somewhere and shoot some people or whatever. You go do that, it takes like a whole 5 minutes, you run back and you're rewarded with $5 fucking. And by the way, pretty much all the weapons in this game are over $100 each, so yeah. Have fun. Almost everything in this game is like this too, such as hunting and selling pelts. The XP isn't even good. There is even an achievement for interrupting somebody doing a free roam mission that I had to boost with someone because nobody does free roam missions. Because you get paid $5. The other thing to do in Red Dead Online is to play all the game modes. You know, things like Team Deathmatch and shit. And it works. I mean, it's very hard to fuck this up and it seems to be the thing most people play. There is also a trophy tied to this where you have to be the MVP 3 times, meaning you have to be the best player in the match. A lot of people boost this as the only people still playing this game have top tier equipment and no standards. I, however, am very good at video games and have no standards. Oh, everyone seems to want to kick this guy. I don't know why. Oh my god, he's level 300, kick him! So about a year after the game came out, they decided to actually add something to do in the form of roles. Oh no, but you can't just log on and play these roles. They cost 15 gold bars each, which is the premium currency in the game. So in order to unlock things to do in Red Dead Online, you have to pay for 25 gold bars, which cost like £9. So yeah, fuck you. Or you can do what most people do, which is grind the daily challenges, and doing these you can get 15 gold bars in a few days for free. Oh my, what is this? Take-Two Interactive have detected fun in the video game. Time for them to nerf the gold bar rewards from dailies by like a half. So now you have to play in this barren wasteland for like a month to add something in it. And the funniest part is, the rolls suck too. It's like spending a month to add a ball pit to the wasteland. Luckily I had 45 gold bars to begin with. I don't know why, I guess it was just because I pre-ordered the game or something. I'm not complaining because now I can jump straight into the grind to 50 without having to suffer through Take-Two's gruesome game mechanics. So here we finally have some good news. The grind to 50 is not the worst thing ever. If you buy the collector roll, all you have to do is go around the map and grab items that belong to sets such as cigarette cards and turn them in. No shooting or interaction with anyone else required. Now this is why I play online games. Each collectible gives you around 100 to 300 XP each, and turning in a set will give you 1500 XP. The locations reset every day, but if you use this wonderful website, it will tell you where everything is.
Alright, let's begin. Yeah, got it, 100 XP, just like that. How much more do I need? 170,000? How fun! Just like everything else in this fun-filled game got fucked.
Oh, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Yes! It wasn't worth it. It was fucking horrible.
So when it's all said and done, what is it like to 100% Red Dead Redemption 2? Or more importantly, was it worth it? Was it worth it to see I'm one of the 0.1% of people to have completed this game? No! Fuck no! Of course it wasn't! Jesus fucking Christ! Look, I did Far Cry 2 for fuck's sake, but this was the biggest game I've ever done. I wish I'd never started it, or at the very least stretched it out over several months. Beat the main game and do whatever you want afterwards, and you'll have a great time. But anything past that point is torture. And you know what the funniest part is? I'll probably play this game again one day, because it probably is the best open world game I've ever played. And Rockstar, please, stop making your game so fucking big!
Well, I got lumbago. Very serious.